This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Hello, dear podcasters. This is Iain Lee. I have no voice. Someone has stolen it. If you find it, can you please return it? Here's some stuff I recorded when I did have a voice. I really hope you enjoy. I don't care, actually.
Morning, this is Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. Kelly Betts is there.
Hello.
Claire's there.
Hi.
Yeah. And what time did you come in, Claire?
Doesn't matter.
Well,
Kind of matters.
kind of does when the show starts at 6 and...
It was a little bit late, I'm sorry.
That's okay, you're from Scotland, we don't mind. 08459 455 555. Lots to talk about. Hey, how late have you been? How late have you been? 08459 455 555. We're also asking pregnant women, are they sexy or not? There's a question. You see, Castaway...
Wait, hang on. You're asking pregnant women if they're sexy or not?
No, I'm asking, are pregnant women sexy or not? And I don't think they are. And actually, I've realised it's not an offensive thing to say. It's a genetic thing. It's a genetic thing, isn't it, Dave? Dave?
Well, I suppose you could say so, yeah.
We are programmed to find women attractive, so we impregnate them. When they become pregnant, we no longer need to impregnate them, so that part of the brain is shut off.
Well, that could be the case, yeah, but I think some women can still look quite sexy when they're pregnant.
Oh, they can do themselves up a bit, but you know, it's mutton, isn't it? Now, Dave, why? Listen, this is very exciting. Why have you called in today?
Because I'm a podcast-only listener.
Yeah.
You mentioned last week about people calling in that are podcast-only listeners.
Yep, that's correct. On the podcast, we put out a call. This has to go in the podcast now, Kelly. On the podcast, we put out a call for people who are podcast-only listeners to call into the show at any time they wanted. Well, now you've called in, Dave, we need to... And this is going to go in the podcast. This is in the podcast.
Right.
This is confusing. We need you to set a question for other podcast listeners to call into next week.
Right. Oh, well, that's going to be easy for me, isn't it? That hasn't put me on the spot at all.
No, I know. Justin?
Yes, boss?
Do you understand what I'm saying here?
I get you totally, 100%.
So Dave has called in because he heard us say on the podcast we want podcast-only listeners to call in. Well, he now needs to set a question for the podcast listeners who'll be listening to this now on their buses or wherever, so they can then call in next week.
Very simple stuff. Come on.
Very simple stuff, Dave.
Yeah.
Away you go. What question have you got?
Right. I'll give it a go. It kind of relates to what Kelly said to me on the phone before. She asked me what time it was in Cyprus.
What time it was in Cyprus?
Yeah, and at the time it was 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which was 2 hours ahead of you.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you could go forward in future 2 hours, what would you do?
If you could go... Hang on a minute. Well, say that again, because your phones in Cyprus are rubbish. If you could do what?
If you could travel forward in time,
Yeah.
in the future, 2 hours only, what would you do with it?
Hang on a minute. So we're jumping forward. This is...
That's a ridiculous question. You should be going back, not forward.
Right, well, back's not an option then, Dave. It's only forward.
Only forward, because I'm ahead of you, aren't I? I'm in the future compared to you.
What is the future like? Have they discovered hovering cars in the next 2 hours? So hang on, if you could go... Yeah, right, yeah. If you can go forward in time 2 hours, what would you do?
Yeah. What would you do with that opportunity?
I'd have breakfast.
Right. Well, there you go.
Dave, we'll put it out there. Thank you, Dave.
Great question. Actually, thinking about it, because you were talking about my coat this morning. It's ripped. What I would do in 2 hours' time, by then, it'll be gone 9 o'clock, the shops would be open, I could go and change my coat. OK, 08459 455 555. It's only for the podcast listeners, though. If you're listening to the show live now, don't. If you listen to the podcast now, you call in Monday to Friday between 6 and 9. I would have asked, what time is it? That's a good question for the podcasters. What time is it? It is.
Give us a call. Ben is in Buckingham. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
What you got for us, boss?
It's about pregnant women.
Oh, yes.
I think they are attractive.
Why?
Because whether they're pregnant or not, they're still attractive, whether they're pregnant as well.
Well, the thing about when they're pregnant is... I'm looking at all of these models, right, in their bras and pants and their suzzies, right, and they're all pregnant. Now, normally, as a red-blooded gentleman, I should be going, whoa, hey, quah! But instead I'm going, oh, that looks weird.
It's just something I can't... Just, women in underwear does look nice.
Yeah, no, women in underwear does look nice, but doesn't the pregnant aspect of it just... It kind of... It desexualises them, doesn't it?
Not really, no.
Do you prefer them non-pregnant or pregnant?
Either.
Really?
Yep.
Gosh, you're happy for anything, aren't you?
Yep.
Is it that I think it's a genetic thing, right?
Yeah.
Because we are programmed, Ben, as men. We are programmed to impregnate women, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's what we're put on the earth to do. If you boil it down to a basic level, that's our only purpose, is to make women pregnant. And when they're pregnant, then we don't have to fulfil that basic function anymore, do we?
No.
So they're not attractive, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had you then, Ben. I thought I was going to twist you round.
No.
No? OK. What you got planned for the rest of the day, Ben?
Not too much.
No? Going to be thinking about pregnant women? Good lad. Ever seen anyone on a boat, Just?
No, I haven't actually.
Wow.
Well, in saying that,
never?
Well, I saw a lot of greedy Germans on a boat once in Magaluf. I saw them.
I saw Paul Weller on a barge. I know where Paul Weller... I'm assuming it's his. I know where he keeps his barge. We'll go down there later if you want and look at him.
That's a brilliant story. Well, one of my friends actually saw... I'm not quite sure which one it was, but one of the boys from Auf Wiedersehen Pet.
From what programme?
Auf Wiedersehen Pet.
From what?
Auf Wiedersehen Pet.
Say that one more time.
Auf Wiedersehen Pet.
OK.
Yeah.
You never had German lesson, did you?
No. I actually got a U in my German exam.
A U-boat. 08459 455 555. It's a boat-themed show today, Just. We're just going to run with the boat themes.
Yeah.
The worst thing is when you go to these islands, these continental islands, and it's nice and peaceful, and then you hear in the distance... And slowly, many miles away, around the corner of the island, comes like an old pirate ship, kitted out with about 500 filthy boozers.
Yep.
They're all having a party on that boat. And they're all having... And then they rock up on your bit of the island. No. Yep. Torpedo number one loaded. Fire torpedoes.
I saw Eric Clapton's house from a boat once.
Oh, Justin, this is why I love you. We've got a phone in. We've got two phone-ins now. We've got who have you seen on a boat? Your boat stories. You've turned it on the head. What have you seen from a boat, Justin?
Exactly. Eric Clapton's house right in front of me. And the guy was on the megaphone saying, Eric, you going to come out and say hello? Can you imagine if you were Eric Clapton and you were listening to that idiot on the boat with a megaphone?
You would not be happy, would you?
No, not at all.
No, if I was Eric Clapton... and I was still drinking and drugging, as he's famous for, I would stand on the roof of my house naked, playing the killer guitar riffs and firing them at the ship. That's what I would do.
Wow.
Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually brilliant. We won't get any calls on it, but I don't care. Who have you seen on a boat? What have you seen from a boat? And your boat stories. 08459 455 555. We've been talking about booze as well, Justin.
Yeah.
Turns out... Luton's a bit boozy and a bit violent on Saturday nights. Who'd have thunk it?
Shock horror.
Well, if you hadn't have thunk it, it was rammed home on last night's episode of 24 Hours in Police Custody, which was all about booze-fuelled fights on a Saturday evenings in Luton. And things took a turn when a Polish man whispered a murder threat to the custody sergeant. Well, you've been out and about, Justin, finding out what people think about Luton on a Saturday night. Giza! What have people been saying, bro?
It's not very good, put it that way.
Oh.
The programme last night, again, we have been talking about this every week. It's such a gripping programme. That there was one guy in the cell last night who was quite literally smashing up the cell all night long. It was embarrassing to watch. The next morning, when he sobered up, he was actually quite a nice person. So it can completely change people.
Yeah.
I've been talking to people here in Luton about some of the worst things they've seen on a Saturday night here in this town involving alcohol. This is not pleasant. Here's what people had to say. Auf Wiedersehen Pet.
Taking it to the streets with J-Dog.
I've seen racial fights, I've seen girls on the floor, out in public, I've seen people just throwing up everywhere, fights, well, What else? There's quite a few things. It's just funny. You've got to see it for yourself. It's like a movie. Luton's like a movie. That's what I've got to say.
Is it really that bad? I mean, come on a weekend. You say it's like a movie.
It's like a movie. It's like an American movie. Stuff you wouldn't believe.
You still go out in Luton?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it out of control? Yes or no?
No, not out of control. I wouldn't go that far. So,
sounds it.
Yeah, I know, but it's still in control. I mean, police don't have control, but yeah.
The police haven't got control?
They ain't got control of nothing around here, I tell you. They just trouble, like, guys in the corner begging for money, and that's about it. I don't know why, but they don't trouble the real guys who are getting into fights and getting drunk, but they trouble the guys that are on the floor asking for money. Where's the sense in that?
Where do I start?
Really?
Well, I live in town, which is quite noisy. Most nights I just hear people shouting, running across the streets, throwing up left, right and centre. It's just terrible, really.
About an 8-man fight, glasses being thrown, bottles being thrown, people scrapping everywhere.
Is it really that bad here compared to other town centres?
I'd say, yeah, it's probably a little bit worse than most town centres, but I've seen quite bad things in other places, but it does get pretty bad sometimes. I wouldn't want to walk around here at night, do you know what I mean, on my own.
So when you were in the pub then, when it all kicked off, you're standing there and bottles and glasses are flying past your head?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And it must have been terrifying.
Yeah, it was quite terrifying, yeah. I just stood out of the way and kept myself to myself and let the bouncers deal with it.
Just lastly, do you think Luton is out of control here at weekends? Do you think this town has unfortunately lost that control element now?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I think it's getting along that way. I think if it escalates any more, then it needs to be addressed in a serious way.
Now, come on, Justin. He's been in a pub in Luton with bottles flying past his ear, like the barroom brawl in Convoy. I don't think so.
According to him, I mean, every single person had a story. That first guy comparing it to an American movie. That's how out of control it is, according to most people here, when it comes to boozing in Luton at weekends.
Just, you know, introduce Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Eddie Grant, of course, famous for being in The Equals. Then he goes 80s style with this one, a top tune, Electric Avenue. Get those radios cranked up as we say... Oi!
Richard, how did you entertain your missus while she was giving birth?
Well, as you know, Labour's quite a drawn-out process.
Yeah.
And I keep myself entertained on the way to work every day by listening to Three Counties.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd stick Three Counties radio on while she was at a lesson, yeah.
We're talking about the labour, aren't we? Not the conception.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
And was she happy with that?
Not really. I think it lasted about 5 minutes until she told me in not so many words to turn it off.
Oh, she was. And who was? I've got to ask Richard. Who was on when she was pushing one out?
I can't remember. It was either you or JVS, but I think we'll say JVS. And then when I call up JVS, I'll say yourself. I
can't think of anything worse than listening to him having a go at Nadine Dorries while someone's trying to have a baby. Put you right off, wouldn't it?
I think it was JVS, to be honest, because I think she mentioned the fact that he had a really annoying voice.
Oh, right, Richard, thank you very much. His voice is a wonderful voice. But would you want to listen to that? When you're having a baby, ladies, you want something kind of soothing and calming, don't you? You want Nick. You want Nick Coffer. That's the only presenter I can think who would do that. You don't want me shouting away like an idiot. You don't want JVS being all stern and having a go at companies and Nadine Dorries, do you? You don't want that. It's a boat special. Mark's on the line. Mark, where are you?
Hi, Ian. I'm near Milton Keynes.
But where are you specifically?
I don't say that because you get certain people like to come along the towpath and think you're a publicity tourist object.
Well, you've hinted at what I'm edging towards, and I can understand your caginess. You are on a boat.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boat special.
Yes.
Within 55 minutes, we get somebody actually on a boat.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, God. Shall I add to that for the amusement? I'm a qualified RYA MCA coastal skipper, which is Royal Yachting Association and Marine Coast Guard Agency. They're the people that do the shipping forecast.
So you can drive boats? You can legally drive boats?
Yeah, across the Atlantic, Channel.
Well, I have to ask you. I have to ask you the three questions, okay, Mark? First of all, who have you seen on a boat?
Oh, a long list.
Give us the top three.
Top three: Harrison Ford, Timothy West, and Prunella Scales.
Ladies.
And the gentleman that plays Poirot.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman that plays Poirot.
What a guy.
Okay. What have you seen from a boat?
Loads. I've come up the Thames.
Yeah.
And I tried... The one time I thought, there's got to be an easier way of doing this to try and work out where the entrance is into the canal. So I started counting the bridges and lost count. But obviously you see the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah.
We went under the Tower Bridge just as it was closing, which was quite amusing.
I bet that was exciting.
Between the road.
And finally, Mark, your boating story, please.
What sort of boating story,
Any
darling?
boating story you fancy.
You've caught me.
Oh, hang on a minute.
I've been on boats. I've been living on my boat for over 28 years.
Blimey.
I know.
Yeah, go
I
on.
know.
Here we go.
I've delivered 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl over the years.
On your boat?
Not on my boat, on the other people's boat.
Were they your children, or you just
No,
helping out?
they were other people's.
Lark, ladies and gentlemen, there's your podcast, guys.
Wow.
There's your Mark.
Incredible.
Thank you. Ben's in Buckingham. Morning, Ben.
Morning, Ian.
How you doing, fella?
All right, thank you.
What you got for us today?
Women in underwear does look nice.
I know, Ben. That was yesterday's show. What have you got for us today, please?
Women in underwear does look nice.
Ben, I know, but I just want to know. We're talking about music. What would you like to say about it?
Women in underwear does look nice.
Ben!
Women in underwear does look nice.
Ben, focus. What would you like to say today?
Women in underwear does look nice.
Giving you one more chance, Ben. What do you want to say today?
About Robbie Williams.
Oh, you were cutting it fine there, fella. You were cutting it fine there. Go on, what about Robbie Williams?
That I don't see why there's such a fuss about what he done, because it only shows he's got a nice human soft side.
He's got a nice human soft side. He's there. His missus is going through what is a very traumatic thing. You wouldn't like it, Ben. She's probably got her underwear off. She'd have to have the baby, otherwise it bounces back, apparently. She is going through a very traumatic, painful, stressful bit. He's entertaining her.
Yep.
He's singing to her. He's dancing for her. He's taking pictures of her. He's being a wonderful, romantic, loving husband. Wouldn't we all like one of them?
Yep.
Yeah, you like a loving, romantic husband?
Yeah.
Would you? Husband?
Well, wife.
There we go, Ben. There we go. That's it. It's good. Have you ever fathered a child?
I've got 2.
Have you?
Yeah.
Flippin' heck, that's a surprise. What flavour are they?
They're both daughters.
So they'll be girls?
Yeah.
How old are they, Ben?
One's 9 and the other one's 8.
Blimey, that's fantastic. Were you there when they were born?
Yep.
And what did you do? Did you sing Candy? It hadn't been written then, had it? What did you do to entertain her?
Well, I was sitting there and basically my partner was holding my hand and it was quite painful.
What, for you?
Yeah.
She was squeezing the hand, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Ben, listen, there's life's great big roller coaster. You get, as the great philosopher said, life is a roller coaster. You've just got to ride it, haven't you, Ben?
Yeah.
I think it was Plato that said that.
Yep, and a quick one.
Yeah, go on, mate.
About the band in the 60s. I think they were in the 60s. What about Cream?
No, they were rubbish. And I know, no disrespect to Jack Bruce, who's passed. He was a great bass player, but they were rubbish. The White Room was good, and I think they did a song called Badge that was excellent. But the rest of it was rubbish.
It was okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
And Ben, what are you going to be doing today?
Women in underwear just look nice.
Goodness sakes, man, give it a break. Take your time, sit down, relax.
Sorry.
That's okay, you're right.
I was just chatting to Kelly.
Don't.
She looks lovely today. She's in magenta.
Yeah, don't talk to her. Don't talk to the staff.
Why not?
Because you and I, we operate on a different level to those guys.
Oh, I see.
We are the talent. We're the stars. We're the raison d'etre that people listen to this show.
I heard that very rude man earlier.
Which one?
Talking about his wife giving birth whilst listening to me and my annoying voice. Very rude, wasn't it?
It was. I think I did a good cover up at the end of that, didn't I? I kind of stood up for you a bit.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
All right.
I said that your voice was not annoying. I said that I was annoying.
Right.
I said that you were stern. And that perhaps listening to you giving Nadine Dorris a right royal rollicking was perhaps not the best thing to listen to when having a baby. I suggest all women in Labour go and listen to Nick Coffer. Very soothing.
He is, and earnest.
He's earnest. Something you and I can never be.
I'm not earnest.
Recipes. Oh, when this baby's out, we'll have a nice flan. You know, it's just... that's what you want to think about, isn't it? You wanna,
yes.
Oh, I could do with a nice sweet corn soup.
Yeah. I've never been asked, with my funny voice, I've never been asked to do any kind of, meditation.
No.
Or relaxing tapes.
No.
I don't think my voice would work very well for that.
I'm wondering how far I can take this conversation without offending you.
Try.
It's quite nasal, isn't it?
Nasal.
That was too far.
Oh. Well, it's a bit rude, isn't it?
Well, OK, I just thought, Peter, that I could go that far. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, blimey, that's not slow. You were supposed to be my get-out there, Peter.
I am indeed.
What? Yes. We'll get on to what you want.
Peter's got a nice voice.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Peter, why don't you say some nice things to Jonathan? He's had a bit of a bashing this morning. Go on, make him feel good.
Man said I'd got a funny voice or something.
I don't think so, actually.
Oh, thanks.
I think it's quite a gentle voice.
Oh, do you?
Whether that's the complete person, I don't know, but you've got a gentle voice, actually.
No, genuinely, this is how I speak. That may surprise some people.
Mind you, it needs all sorts to make a world, really.
Peter, could you imagine yourself making love whilst listening to Jonathan's voice?
No, not at all.
No?
I'd be more engaged, I'm afraid.
OK. All right, well, it was kind of a compliment, and he slapped you in the face, didn't he?
I don't want people making love while I'm talking.
Paul's in Biggleswade. Morning, Paul.
Oh, good morning, Ian.
You agree with me, don't you?
No.
What?
Is it? By the way, on just a technical point.
Yes, sir.
I'm not in Biggleswade. I'm off Biggleswade.
OK, well, I literally couldn't care less.
No.
But so Paul's off Biggleswade. He'll be off this.
You'll be Biggleswade.
You'll be. OK, all right. But are you in Biggleswade?
No, I'm off Biggleswade.
Well, where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Upper Caldicot, which is part of Biggleswade.
Well,
wow, tense this. Really tense.
So hang on a second.
Yeah.
If you're in Upper Caldicot,
yeah,
which is part of Biggleswade,
yeah,
you're in Biggleswade. Pwned, mate. I've totally pwned you.
Yeah, all right then.
Thank you very much indeed. What have you got?
Yeah, I'd like to give you one. Cliff Richard and
I beg your pardon?
I'd like to give you one.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that later on. You want to talk about music first?
Cliff Richard and the Shadows.
Rubbish.
Yeah, I agree. I just thought I'd name some bands from the 50s. I thought that's what you wanted. What about Roy Orbison?
Awful.
Pretty woman walking down the street.
What?
You think that's awful?
Yes, I do. Well, I think that's quite a good song, but most of his other songs are rubbish. The Candy-Coloured Clown.
Never heard of that one.
Exactly.
What about... Who was that lot that did that song Telstar? Was that the Tremolos?
Tornadoes.
The Tornadoes.
And it was the first American #1 by a British act.
That's funny, Ian. Your voice just changed then.
I know.
Your voice completely changed.
Yeah, it does sometimes.
All right, that's all I got for you. So I'll see you sometime.
All right, thanks, Paul.
All right, cheers.
Lovely to talk to you.
Oh, it's changed the game.
Yeah, it does.
I'm getting confused now, really confused.
Well, have a cup of tea.
I think I'd better have a cup of tea and a lie down.
Just said that.
I would like to give
Have
you
a lie
songs.
down.
Yeah, all right, I will do.
And a cup of tea.
And a cup of tea, I will do.
Not together, because you'll spill it.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, mate.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey, we got John Lennon on the line. Morning, John.
Hey, how you doing? You're right there, fellas.
Yeah, I'm really good, John. I'm genuinely surprised to hear from you. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad, just calling you back from the other side.
Yeah, all things considered, you've been dead for 34 years, and you sound pretty good. Now, John, listen...
Imagine there's no heaven.
Is there one?
No.
Oh, then where are you?
I'm just floating around in purgatory,
It serves you right. Now, John, listen. There are 3 rubbish Beatles songs, aren't there?
Are you talking about me song Revolution number 9?
No, I quite like that one. I'm tempted to play that tomorrow.
Even I skipped forward that one on my CD player.
No, you'll like these because they're primarily McCartney songs. Obla di Obla Da.
That's a great little reggae tune. Paul did okay with that one, I thought.
You sounded a bit Paul now, John. And a bit George.
I'd take that as an insult.
Now you just sound like a bloke. Also, Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
That's a great tune, all about murder and stuff, you know. A bit risque.
A bit risque. I can't remember what the last one was.
The kids love that one, let me tell you.
Yellow Submarine is dreadful. Come on, John. What were you thinking?
Yellow Submarine, I wrote that for Ringo, you know, just for his voice, and it sort of suits him.
Yellow Submarine is a great song. We're not having that.
It's rubbish, John.
No, we're not having that. Blue Jay Way, the George Harrison song.
Blue Jay Way. It's a bit dull, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit dull.
John, listen, before we let you go, it will be remiss of me not to have you sing a little snatch of a Beatles tune. Could you give us a bit? Do you know any Beatles songs, John?
I'm not familiar with the band. I can do some great kinks, if you like.
Thank you very much.
I was talking to Ian at about 5 to 9 on Tuesday. He sounded great. Probably the best show I've ever heard the boss do. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He sounded on great form. Suddenly, you phone me at 10:30 telling me that Ian has lost his voice.
Yeah. He had lost his voice so much that he couldn't tell us he wasn't coming in. He had to send it in an email.
Right.
And I went over and I was like, Ian, are you right? I was like, I've sent you an email. Can't talk. I was like, okay. So then I had to call you, and you said that you would present the show on a couple of conditions.
Yep.
One was that I had to give you 3 compliments there and then.
A hat-trick of compliments, yes.
A hat-trick of comps.
Yep.
The second one was I needed to bring in a large banana for you to eat long.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one was a cup of coffee ready-made for when you got in.
You did all of those things. Congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
I stood in and presented the programme, even though Ian Lee hadn't lost his voice. Here's the sort of stuff that Ian says when his voice is working.
My mum loves cocks. Honestly, she will not stop talking about cocks. But this has really put me off cocks. Are you chomping on cocks? What is it? Granny Smith? What is it?
Cocks.
Justin. Cocks.
Yes.
My mum absolutely loves cocks. She loves cocks. I've gone off the fella.
Why?
Well, he's in the paper today, and he normally says, this is, the universe is absolutely amazing, and all the stars have been here for billions and billions of years, and every single star in the universe is absolutely amazing. And I was in D-Ream, I wasn't the singer, I was the guitarist, but now I find that stars are absolutely amazing.
Great impression.
That's not a bad impression,
That's
is it?
very good. You are wasted in that hot seat.
I literally am wasted this morning, just, but, you know, it's been a long weekend. He's saying aliens don't exist. I'm saying pooey.
Yeah.
Of course they exist.
He's talking absolute rubbish. Now, surely every single person believes that aliens exist. If we're here, that there's got to be life somewhere else, correct?
He says this, there is only one advanced technological civilization in this galaxy, and it's amazing. And that's us. And we are so unique. We are absolutely amazing.
You know what? His comments actually disgust me. When I get home later on, my D-Ream CD is going to be ripped up and put in the bin. It's an absolute disgrace.
So on Tuesday, Justin, you and Ian had a bit of an argument.
Yeah.
And I hate to break the news to you, but I think you are the reason that Ian lost his voice.
Behave yourself.
He was so angry with you that after your argument, he couldn't speak.
What, over Jerry and the Pacemakers?
Yes.
And Robbie Williams?
Yep.
He was getting angry?
Yep.
About those two factors.
I think he was getting angry with you.
Let's do this. Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams, he's been acting like a plum while his wife was giving birth to a baby. I think good on him. I think it's a little bit of fun. You weren't quite so convinced.
No, I think it's wrong. Robbie Williams posting these strange videos singing Candy by his wife's bedside. I've been getting reaction to the videos, getting reaction from the men. How do they calm their partner's nerves? And vice versa. The streets have spoken this morning, Ian. Here's what happened.
Sorry, Justin, it's vice versa, not vice versa.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
Taking it to the streets with J-Dog.
Just take the abuse. Just let her do what she wanted to do, innit? That's what I'm there for.
How bad was the abuse?
bad enough. Yeah. Worse than getting run over. I'm telling you that.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you that now.
I mean, Robbie Williams has been singing to his wife. He's been singing that dreadful song, Candy. What's your thoughts on that?
Stupid. Just hold the hand and take the abuse, innit? That's all you can do, really. You know what I mean?
All the ladies in the house. Yeah. All the ladies.
The ladies' perspective with Iain Lee across beds, hearts and bucks.
The ladies.
What did your husband do when that big moment came?
Oh, he just started shouting and screaming and everything, yeah.
What, to try and make you laugh?
Yeah, sitting there eating Chinese.
You're still laughing now.
I know. You got to, wouldn't you?
So he was doing all these comedy things to try and get you over that moment which you felt very tense
the pain
about.
and everything, yeah.
Now, Robbie Williams, do you like Robbie?
Robbie Williams, I like Robbie Williams, yeah.
He's been by his wife's bedside singing songs to her. Is that pathetic or is that caring?
Pathetic.
Veronica, you're sitting here with the newspaper, you know all about Robbie. What's your thoughts on what he's been doing, first of all?
Well, I think everybody has their own way of doing things, but he is a bit of a twit, to be honest. I mean, who wants to tweet about what their wife's doing? I mean, it's private, it's her pain. He doesn't realise what sort of pain she's going through.
Yeah, and probably singing Candy makes it worse, I'd have thought.
Yes, I would think so, yes. She needs a little bit of calming, not being riled and upset. She needs to be kept calm, and I think something like that would probably just upset her, I think.
Now, your partner wasn't there for the birth because men weren't allowed in. Should we go back to those days?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Like I say, it's a private thing. Women, it's an embarrassing thing to go through in the first place.
It's for the lady and the lady only.
Yes.
It's a harsh vibe, but I always say, when I go onto the streets, just be honest. And you've been really honest, and I really appreciate that.
That's fine.
I consider that it was made it to be all about him rather than, something that was a private thing between the two of them.
Here.
Okay.
Before you go, your husband, what did he do to try and calm your nerves? Sing about Frank Sinatra?
Left the building.
And that calmed you down?
Oh,
him not being there?
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Her husband was Frank Sinatra. That's what that was. You've never been in that environment, Justin, so you can't really comment.
No, and I didn't comment. I just took it to the streets.
Well, yeah. You commented. You said that Robbie Williams... Robbie Wings...
Who's that? Who's he? I thought we was talking about Robbie Williams. Who's this bloke you're talking about?
I'm so high on cough medicine, man. You were saying that what Robbie Wings was doing...
Robbie Wings? I think he used to pay for Luton Town, Robbie Wings. Robbie Wings.
That's what one of the ladies said.
Right, OK.
During the ladies' perspective.
Yeah.
Didn't she? You said what he was doing was out of order, mate. And
no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I just said it's a
private moment. I just think, the cynic in me says that he's got these videos out there, that's a very special moment for him and his wife. He's putting the videos out there, him singing Candy.
Oh, he's doing it for a laugh,
He's
mate.
Trying to get people to talk about it. He wants people to go on iTunes and buy his songs.
Candy is 6 months old. He's not.
Yeah.
If he had a new one out, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Right.
It's a 6-month-old song. He's having a laugh.
No, he's not.
He's having a laugh, Just.
No, the other week, Cilla Black was back in the hit parade. She was back in the hit parade. Anyone who had a heart off the back of that TV programme.
What, because she was filming, took a selfie while she was on the lav or something?
No, I'm just saying that when people hear a song, they may not have heard it for a long time.
Oh, it's Candy.
They'll go online, they'll buy it.
It's Candy. We're BBC Local Radio. We are contractually obliged to play it every 25 seconds.
Yeah, but people can still listen to it and then go and buy it. That's why he's doing it, boss. Come on, get real.
I'm not having this. I'm really angry now. I'm not having this, Justin.
Why?
He's just doing it for a laugh.
Would you do that?
I'm not Robbie Williams!
Nicola Richards at BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Nicola. Well, I think that last little burst of activity may be the thing that lost me my voice. And if that's the case, Justin, I will actually pursue you through the courts to get reimbursement.
Oh, good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Lynn. How are you today on this beautiful Thursday morning?
Yes, it's very mild, actually, very muggy and, but there you go. Anyway, great show, Justin.
Thank you.
Saturdays as well. Just to phone up about Ian's voice.
Yeah.
I think it's a great improvement. I think he sounds quite husky and sexy, and you know what he's like. He gets excited and he gets loud and loud, you know, brags about his plums and his beef and God knows what. So I think it's a great improvement.
Well, do you know what, Lynn? Let me just say this right now. Let me just say this again. For anybody who thinks I'm trying to get into his seat, I used to be a full-time presenter. I used to really enjoy that. But I got suspended, Lynn. It all went horribly wrong, OK? So now I've reinvented myself and I like to be a reporter. And Iain, just for the record, is probably the best broadcaster I've ever worked with, OK? So for anybody who thinks we don't get on, we do. But here is a clip of him explaining why he's not here today.
All right, Dealey, I hear you've been bad-mouthing me on the radio.
True.
And you don't think I'm losing my voice?
Absolutely.
Well, no actor, not even Bruce Willis, the greatest actor in the world, could fake a voice like this. My legal team are listening. If you mock me again or claim that I'm lying, I will sue your backside off, Dealey. Geezer!
So last week on Ian's podcast, when he could speak and he had a voice, even though he's still got a voice from home, you would have heard this.
Well, Iain, I think that you're a bit loud in the morning.
Sorry?
You're very loud. You're not shouting.
Yeah.
And it's a bit much in the morning.
Well, so what you say... well, Andy, two things. Right, one is jog on. The second one is you could turn the volume down.
Yeah, but even when you turn the volume down, you're still loud.
Flipping it. So what?
You must be one of the loudest broadcasters in the country.
Well, guess what? He phoned back in when I was presenting, and now he's gloating. Clever lad.
Do you remember I phoned in last week and said that he was talking too loud on the radio and he shouts too much? So that's the result. He's got to look after his vocal cords. Okay?
So you want him to come back next week and be a bit more mellow? Yeah. Good morning. Hi. This is Iain Lee.
Doing a lot of good.
Andy, I shall pass on your words of wisdom. Thank you very much.
All right.
Take care.
So you don't believe that Ian's lost his voice, do you?
No.
Really?
And I also don't believe, according to him, in the clip that he sent me, that Bruce Willis is the greatest actor of all time.
Do you want to hear it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, hang on.
All right, Dealey, I hear you've been bad-mouthing me on the radio.
He's got a mask on.
And you don't think that I'm losing my voice? Well, no actor, not even Bruce Willis, the greatest actor in the world, could fake a voice like this. My legal team are listening. If you mock me again or claim that I'm lying, I will sue your backside off, Dealey. Geezer!
Wow.
You think that's fake, do you?
I think he is a fantastic actor. Fair play to you, Iain. Fair play. I hope that bed has been nice and warm for you this week, and you've had a bell to ring when things have gone wrong. And by the way, Bruce Willis, he's not the best actor of all time. You plum.
Shall we end the podcast in true Iain Lee, no voice style?
Yeah. For legal reasons, let me just say this, that I do enjoy working with Iain Lee. I think he's probably the best broadcaster I've ever worked with. I needed to say that for legal reasons.
OK.
Let's now end the podcast in the style of Iain Lee. Take it away.
Thanks, podcasters, for listening and downloading me every week. I can't really talk right now, but I really do like you all, every person individually. Thanks for listening and downloading, and make sure you tell your friends.
Thanks, guys. See you later. Signed off, Darth Vader.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.